The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Rodgers was asked directly about his message to the New York Jet fan and what it's going to be like facing the Jets 12 days from right now. We will play you what Rodgers said, talk about that, and much more. It's cutdown day. It's also a Tuesday on the Jake Asman Show. New intro. Let's hit it and get it started.
There's a number of things that I think about every morning that get me excited about being a part of this job. And plus, I just love what the hell I do.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go. Happy cutdown day. Jets must trim the roster to 53 players by 4 p.m. Eastern time. Check back later today for our breaking news live stream once the roster is in place. We are presented by my friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. Jets and the Steelers 12 days from now. Aaron Rodgers, first game against his old team. First game as a Steeler, and he was asked about that matchup. For more on that and for more on the Jets, we say hello to a good friend of the show, Jets content creator, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. BG, happy cutdown day, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
I brought the scissors, Jake. Let's friggin' go. It's a party and appreciate the invite, baby.
What to you has stood out so far? We've had some moves from the Jets. I guess the most notable name that has been, cut so far has been Adrian Martinez, meaning that at least for now, Brady Cook is the only other quarterback besides Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor on this team. We did, however, have both Mike White and Tommy DeVito be cut within the last 16 hours, including DeVito this morning. Your thoughts on where things are at headed into 4 p.m. today?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was listening to the Jake Asman Show because obviously why wouldn't I be last night with Antoine Staley? And the biggest name that surprised me was Jamin Davis. I'm like, oh, man, he appeared to be linebacker 3, former first-round pick, seemed to be doing everything. Obviously, Antoine is there at all the practices, so he knows better than me. He said he wasn't impressive at all during camp. I'm like, well, all right then. Well, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. But from the outside, from reading all the reports every day and the training camp reports, it sounded like he was linebacker 3. So I'd be curious if there's some extra stuff happening at play there. Antoine said there wouldn't be, so that's sort of interesting. But obviously, you're right. The quarterbacks, Martinez gets tossed off the boat, and Brady Cook is left. But Brady Cook, you better keep your head on a swivel, young man, because Tommy DeVito, you got him out there. You mentioned Mike White. My boy Kyle McCord, Syracuse guy who I love pre-draft, apparently is getting waived by the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's a lot of options for the New York Jets. The good news is it looks like Tyrod's going to be good to go for week 1 based on all of the latest AG updates, but he hasn't practiced since late July, according to Rich Cimini, so that rust factor could come into play, and he's never played a full season in his career. Neither is Justin Fields, so that QB3 position is particularly important for the NYJ.
I'm with you. And look, of the available options, I think DeVito would actually make a lot of sense. He's won games in the league before. He can handle New York. He's been in this area. I don't know. Tommy DeVito, I don't think would be the worst addition for the Jets as their third quarterback, practice squad guy. I mean, he's proven he can, at least at the bare minimum, win games in this league. Mike White has as well. So I'd be interested, but we don't know internally how the Jets actually feel about Brady Cook. Maybe they really like him, and he's just going to be the guy behind Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, there you go. Here's the Tommy DeVito autograph, baby. Let me see if I can. Oh, yeah, there it is from Syracuse. Tommy DeVito, TD13, beautifully placed on the desk here, so he's ready to roll. But yeah, maybe they do feel good about Brady Cook, but here's what I don't feel good about. Martinez might come back to the practice squad. He's never thrown a pass in an NFL regular season game. Brady Cook has not thrown an NFL regular season pass. That being the line of defense seems a little questionable. Again, if you can improve it, which by all the names you said, those guys would all be improvements over who we have at QB3. So that part of the equation, again, gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. But hey, man, if they, I'm going to trust the process. I've explained this on the show before. Everyone in my life starts at 0. If they do good things and show me faith and all these kinds of wonderful things, they go plus. If they show me shitty things, they're unreliable or untrustworthy or whatever, they lose points. The Jets regime, to me, has done nothing so far to put me in the negative pool. So I'm all right, let's rock. If they believe in Brady Cook, then I'll take their word for it.
DeVito, by the way, 3-5 as a starter, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 12 career games. So certainly a potential player to watch for the Jets. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Paul's channel as well. We'll simulcast this show on his channel. So for those of you confused, being like, wait a second. Well, there you go. That is the reason why. I also want to make sure that I let everyone know our daily raffle prize today, because this will be a shorter show than normal. I'm doing radio today on ESPN New York from 1 to 3. So we are going to have a big time prize that you have a chance to win. You ready for this? A signed Joe Namath photo with a certificate of authentication included. Only the second time in the history of the Jake Asman Show we've done a daily raffle prize featuring Broadway Joe. If you don't win that, next week's top prizes include a signed Justin Fields jersey and a signed jersey by each member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. So we got the 2 weekly prizes set and an epic daily prize, Broadway Joe Namath. If you gift a membership, you're entered in the raffle. $10 super chat or higher, you qualify for 2 entries. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's go from Joe Namath and Justin Fields to last year's Jet quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was a guest on Adam Shine's daily radio show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, and he was asked 2 questions about the New York Jets. I'm going to play you the full interaction between Shine and Rodgers. First, Shine asking Aaron Rodgers what his message is to the Jet fan base.
What would your message be to Jets fans? 2 years ago, we're talking, you're watching an 86 Mets documentary, visualizing what it'd be like to win a Lombardi trophy in New York, and it was all there at that time. What's your message to Jets fans?
Well, I mean, I really embraced my time there and put as much as myself into it as I possibly could, and I really wanted to win there. I really did, and I have a lot of appreciation for the special moments. There weren't a ton of them, but one of the coolest moments, unfortunately 4 plays later, was all taken away. But running out on that field, it was a special night. And even though it ended very shortly thereafter, that'll always be a kind of a special snapshot. And I wish it had gone differently up there for sure. But, I put all I had into it. I mean, I tore my Achilles and battled my ass back to come back to practice to inspire the guys and hope to come back. I put a lot into it, and I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I'm thankful for the couple special moments that were had.
How about this week 1 matchup? Obviously, it was a quick meeting you had reportedly, and you talked to McAfee about it with Aaron Glenn. Obviously, you know so much of the guys in terms of the offensive players, the defensive players you'll be playing against. What's that going to be like going up against your former team week 1 of the season?
Probably nowhere near where it might be made out. It's a lot has changed over there, coaching staff-wise, player-wise. Obviously, I have friendships over there, but it's 1 game out of 17, and at 5 o'clock Eastern on that Sunday, it's only get me on to the next game. So that's just the way it is.
Okay, so a lot there from Rodgers. BG, what was your takeaways from those comments?
And I'm going to reiterate what I think some Jet fans think, and maybe more should. Like, it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault that his Achilles exploded, man. And it sucks. And we'll forever have that troubled memory. We're going to have to talk to our therapist about for the next 30 years, which sucks. But, Aaron Rodgers put it all on the line. And in week one, I want the Jets defense to break him and smash him into little pieces. And then after week one's over, put the pieces back together, put Humpty Dumpty on the wall. I hope they go 16-1 this season. They lose to the Jets and win all the other games. I don't care. Like, I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. I got a couple Aaron Rodgers jerseys in the closet. When he inevitably goes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I'm going to slap that on the back, and I'm going to feel good for him. I wish it would have went better for the Jets too. Same sort of comments he did, but no, I want the Jets to absolutely annihilate Aaron Rodgers week one at MetLife Stadium.
That's kind of how I feel too, right? Like, it didn't work. I don't personally blame him. He got hurt. It's the most unfortunate thing that could have happened. It is what it is. I think ultimately it didn't work because of a lot of things that had nothing to do with him. I think he came here with the right intentions. I believe him when he says he did everything. I think we saw it. If you watch the documentary that Netflix produced, You saw it. We saw his own teammates voted him the best teammate that year in 2023. Like, he did come back and, at least on a limited basis, practice. CJ Mosley came on this show and said that it was insane watching Rodgers practice against him in December that year after rupturing the Achilles on September 11th, 4 months prior to that. So it just didn't work ultimately. And it's a shame because I think when we look back on it, obviously it's a disaster time in Jets history, but I have nothing but respect for the guy. I wish him well, just not week one. I hope the Jets dominate him and they get a win against Aaron Rodgers. And then after that, like, if Rodgers plays well, like, I have nothing negative to say about the guy. To me, it didn't work, but I think ultimately he came here with the right intentions and he tried. The Jets, unfortunately, were the Jets, and we can't have nice things.
Apparently not. And no, Thomas Morstead joined my show a lot of times over the years, but specifically during the Aaron Rodgers run. And he would tell me both on air and off air how inspirational Aaron Rodgers was to the other teammates. And it was cool to have him there and how much of, one of the common guys, because what we heard way back when with the Brett Favre thing is he liked to be a 1%er. He didn't want to, sort of meander with the other teammates. He wanted to be his own man, separate from everybody else. Aaron Rodgers was the opposite. He voluntarily went out of his way to sit with new teammates. That's one of the things he said, that every day sit with someone new and engage other teammates. So there was a lot to love about the mentality and what they were supposed to be doing with Aaron Rodgers. It just didn't work out. It sucks. But like I said, at the end of the day, hey, Aaron, we're going to beat your candy ass all over the place week one. And then we'll see you in the AC Championship game, baby. Jets Steelers. We have some retribution to pay, young man, from a couple years ago.
Look, I hope we're in a spot where we get to face Aaron Rodgers twice this year. I don't care what round it is. If somehow the Jets get to play Aaron Rodgers twice this year, that is a hell of a first year for Aaron Glenn. Perhaps a coach of the year type of year for AG.
Yeah, certainly so. Again, expectations are in the friggin' dump right now, Jake. Vegas, I don't know if the Vegas line has changed. You were just in Vegas, so maybe you can check up on this. Is 5.5 was last time I saw for Vegas line. So
it's moving up. It's 6 now. Yeah, it's juiced
phenomenal.
Towards the 6 now. So 6.5 is the win total.
All right, let's grease those wheels, baby, because at that time when it was just 5.5, only 2 teams were worse than the Jets at 4.5. So I'm glad that the numbers are going the other way. But long story short, expectations are not very high outside of one Jets drive from the national media. The Jets are going to have to prove it. That's not Aaron Glenn's fault. It is what it is. Move in silence, all this jazz. So let's see if they can do it. And man, what a test. We are so going to overreact to week one, no matter what. If we win, we're going to the Super Bowl, the AG area. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. We lose. Geez, we made the wrong choice. We should have kept Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Glenn is an idiot. So either way, it's going to be pretty interesting to react to that week one game. Yeah.
We're going to talk more about this week one game, including some comments that were made by a former Jet, CJ Mosley, asked by Kay Adams yesterday about what the game plan for the Jets should be when facing Rodgers. We will cover that. But if you tuned in late, we are doing an epic giveaway here on Cutdown Day. A signed Broadway Joe Namath photo is the top prize. A bunch of memberships came flying off the shelves a few minutes ago. Shout out to J-Boy, who gifted a 5-spot of channel memberships.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
A shout out to the #1 Austrian Jet fan who finds himself in the Asmaniac raffle. He's playing to win this signed photo.
Hello. You play to win the game.
And then how about this? A 10 spot from Anthony Logerado. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, memberships flying off the shelves. Paul Taxter getting in on the fun as well. Hit the Jet chant, everyone. Be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that on BG's channel, the Austrian Jet fan threw in 5. Paulie Dog threw in a gifted membership as well. So, Paul, Boy Green Coffee Club members are still assembling on the simulcast.
I love it. Here are those new members. Harlem Born, Bronx Bred, Infrared Jets, Lucas523, Geraldo Noski, Jacob Nueles, and Real Alex Famous. Booyah! Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, some Jets roster news to discuss. The Jets released Carter Warren, so the idea that they were going to be able to trade him, yeah, that's not happening. Also, Eric Watts has been released as well. Wouldn't surprise me if maybe another team puts a claim in for him, or he could stick around on the Jets practice squad. But you look at some of the cuts that the Jets have made so far, I don't know if anything is that shocking. It felt like once you had the story from Jeremy Fowler that, oh, the Jets are getting some calls about Carter Warren. He's this tackle depth that teams need. I laughed at that, but nevertheless, you knew that his days were numbered, so they can't find a trade partner. They release him. They release Watts. Your thoughts on those two moves, BG?
It's unfortunate, you know. The Carter Warren trade rumors. That's too damn bad. When I heard trade rumors, Carter Warren, what in the name of everything that's holy? Terrific. Mooj. Let's go. And unfortunately failed trade talks, and he ends up getting released. You know, the fact of the matter is he's just been god awful in 2 years. 6 starts. The numbers are terrible. He's been well below league average in every major category. It just didn't work out. Again, you invest a 4th round pick in the guy. He had some injury issues at Pitt, and it didn't work out. Eric Watts, hey, man, you look at the undrafted free agents that the Jets had last year, and there was a lot of hubbub. Ooh, Leonard Taylor III. Oh, Eric Watts. Braden McGregor. And LT3 showed a little bit of pop, had like a sack and a half and some nice pass rush juice, but Eric Watts didn't do bupkis. Braden McGregor didn't do bupkis. So sorry, Watts. Sorry, pal, that it just didn't happen with the statistics last year. And obviously this year, there's fresh blood in that room. Peyton Page, another UDFA. So people are coming for jobs. So neither surprising, but again, sort of sad on Carter Warren. I was hoping to get like a 7th round pick in 2045.
Where is the Malachi Corley has been cut transaction? I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Am I about to get another? Are we about to get another update? Oh, Jets receiving calls, hot on the presses. Malachi Corley, maybe, but yeah, that one seems pretty inevitable, Jake.
I do think, before we get to the CJ Mosley comments, I do think the most interesting thing to watch today is which receivers they end up going with. We got news yesterday that I think is a big deal for the 53. A lot of people assumed, oh, Alan Lazard, short-term IR is where he's headed. Glenn's saying he's going to be ready for week 1, which means he's on the team, of course. So it feels like if that's the case, we might only have one roster spot up for grabs, and it could be, in my opinion, Pritchard versus Gibson for that last spot, because Gibson apparently is healthy too.
And here's the other one. I'll answer your first part of what you just said, but the second one, Isaiah Davis expect to be ready for week 1. Another one we thought was short-term IR, which could have gotten Donovan Edwards, the UDFA out of Michigan, on the roster. Now that Isaiah Davis is sticking and Kene Nguanu is going to make it, I don't know if there's a spot for Donovan. We'll see what happens there. But to go back to your wide receiver point, all of a sudden, it's tryouts in the movie, The Dark Knight, where Heath Ledger throws the pull stick between the two guys, says, hey, one of you's coming out of here. We'll see who. So Jamal Pritchett, Quentin Skinner, Brandon Smith, who's making that back end of the roster? Alan Lazard seems like he's going to make it for sure, based on everything you just said and the comments from AG. So there doesn't seem like there's a lot of those spots up for grabs. I think Pritchett is clearly beating out Xavier Gibson. Where's that news? Where's Xavier Gibson either hot on the trade presses or dumped? It's because I think Jamal Pritchett stole his job, and I thought that was pretty clear based on preseason and training camp action. But I'll be curious, is there a spot for a Brandon Smith and Quentin Skinner now?
Dick Chimney's burner with a super chat. Coffee Club meets as maniacs, not a better duo. Thank you, Mr. Dick Chimney. We have this one from Adam is too cool. He writes in, it'll be fitting if we get a wild card spot that we, by head-to-head tiebreaker, end the Steelers postseason streak, just like Belichick's last game was an L to us. God, where do I sign for this scenario?
Yeah, I think it's less Steelers postseason streak. It'd be cooler to get their winning streak. Like our win was the one that knocked them off, so we don't have to hear that Tomlin crap anymore, that they didn't have a winning season. That would be amazing.
Rich reminding everyone out there to click the like button. That's the thumbs up icon. If you haven't done so already, it helps the YouTube algorithm give this show to more Jet fans to discover. Austrian Jet fan checking in. DeVito or McCord? I defer to you. I mean, you're Mr. Syracuse, Boy Green. Would you rather Kyle McCord or Tommy DeVito be claimed by the Jets?
What an impossible question, because I would take either. But, well, I guess it's ultimately what are you looking for? Because if Brady Cook is out of here, then there's no developmental guy on the Jets. So that would lean towards Kyle McCord as the guy who's the draft pick. Tommy DeVito gives you a better guy if shit goes wrong and you have to go to him. So I would lean towards Kyle McCord if I had a gun to my head.
I'm good with either, I guess. McCord, fine. I mean, they added him. The reality is, I keep going back to this. We spent so much time over the summer always talking about these quarterbacks, and 99% of them, if they ever had to play, stink. So to me, it kind of just is what it is.
Come on, Jake. Let's get the positivity. Let's get the juices flowing. Kyle McCord could be our franchise young quarterback we're developing, a piece of clay.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, look, Mike White's out there too. I wouldn't mind him. I think Mike White, at least, is proven in the right situation, can run a competent offense. No one's saying he's, Joe Montana, but he's competent.
A to B. And I think we overrate that fact of the matter, Jake, all the time, that we're always looking for, where's the Patrick Mahomes? Well, if you keep looking for that, you're not going to find it. But who's a guy that could just run the offense, just do what it needs to be done? That's been a thing that's been overlooked by a lot of Jets fans.
Big fella asked about Tyler Huntley, who got cut as well. I don't know. I've never been the biggest Huntley guy.
Yeah, Snoop Huntley sucks. I want absolutely no part of that whatsoever.
No. Turd Ferguson in the house. He joins our signed Joe Namath raffle at the end of the show for 2. Just go all in on failed Bears quarterbacks and trade for Trubisky as the backup. Well, Mike White lost the backup job to Trubisky, right? So
correct. So he's not available.
I don't think the Bills are trading you Trubisky, nor do I want him. But I'm guessing this is a joke. Big Islander fan. 16 months of being a channel member. Thank you for the support. He's using his free super chat that you get when you're a channel member. Can we please get Michael Clemens off this roster? I want to jump in my TV set and pull him off the field, rooting for Rodgers. No hatred here. Yeah, outside of week 1, I have no issue if Aaron Rodgers plays well. I think he's going to have a decent year. I think he's in a good spot to at least win 9-10 games and get to the playoffs like the Steelers always do. As far as Clemens, I mean, clearly the depth behind Clemens is not good enough, or Clemens wouldn't be here. That, to me, is the biggest issue. It's that the Wattses, the McGregors, all the other guys that we were hoping could take a step, Tyler Barron, who they drafted in the 5th round and traded up for, none of these guys have emerged where they think they're better than what they have in Clemens.
I agree. And we've been saying this for a while, that the depth behind them is not good enough. I question the overall defensive end depth. Hopefully that's something they're active with, not today, Jake, but the waiver wires tomorrow. Get some pass rusher depth, and let's do that ASAP. And the coaching staff, for those who don't know, love him. Steve Wilkes said Michael Clemens had an outstanding training camp. So, he loved him. AG was commenting on his terrific physique for the beach bod. They like Michael Clemens. They like the cut of his jib, and he's the 3rd most accomplished defensive end on this roster, whether you like it or not. So the thing you want to hope for as a Jets fan is it's unrealistic to think he's going to go off the roster unless the Jets make some surprise trade we're unaware of. So what you want to embrace as a Jets fan, because he's going to be here, is say, man, I hope AG's coaching can get rid of the stupid penalties. Now, immediately in the Packers game, 5 minutes in, he got into a fight, which was stupid. So maybe he won't be able to fix it, but that's a hope if you're a Jets fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, more Jets breaking news to be reacting to on Cutdown Day.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jets are cutting Brandon Smith, according to Ryan Dunleavy. Also, the Jets are waiving, aka cutting, cornerback Jarek Bernard. Converse, that means Quantez Stiggers is going to be on this team. In all likelihood, BG, you get the first word. Your thoughts on these 2 moves?
Yeah, the JBC one, he was a draft crusher of mine a couple of years ago. So, that's disappointing. But, he had a very uneven camp in preseason. He had good moments, but he had bad moments too. So that one's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Quantez makes it at corner. There might have been a world where Quantes and JBC could have made it, but now JBC is going to be gone. He could be brought back on the practice squad. And then Brandon Smith, he was impressive last year, Jake. He was impressive this year, but I just didn't see the spot on the team. If you really stack it up and you go Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, Arian Smith, and Tyler Johnson, and you start naming them, and then Jamal Pritchett, I'm already at 6. How many are they keeping? 7? So, it just, while it sucks for fans, this is the David Clowney Award. We freak out in the preseason. They get cut. Maybe Brandon Smith will circle back to the practice squad, but it just seemed difficult, especially with the Lazard news yesterday, Jake. It seemed very difficult for one of those Quentin Skinners or Brandon Smiths to get in. Maybe Quentin does, but it seems tough.
JBC, I thought, could maybe fetch you a draft pick because he's made plays before. Like, I don't know. I thought they could maybe get something for him. I guess not. I'm sure they tried, but ultimately he's being released. You look at the depth in the secondary. I mean, the corner room is probably the deepest position group on the Jets. You can make a case.
I would certainly make that case, and I've made that case this offseason. I've heard other people say the running back room they feel really good about, so touche, I guess, but I feel really good about the corners. That if any one of them were out for any reason, I feel really good about Isaiah Oliver, even, who's technically a safety, but he's played nickel, he's played boundary corner. Like, I feel good about him potentially coming back over, too. So they just have insane depth in the secondary, which feels good, specifically at corner rather than safety. So I feel really good about that room. I think corner is the best room on the team. Some people argue for the RBs.
Dylan Terriman writes in, if Smith is cut, Skinner better be too. Pritchard makes it. I think Pritchard does end up making it. I don't know how, but I think he's going to make it just based on what Glenn was saying after the Eagles game this past Friday. I don't think Skinner is going to be on the team. We know Smith isn't. I feel like with the Lazard news yesterday, I think it's Gibson versus Pritchard, and I think they're going to go with Pritchard.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jamal Pritchett makes it. Unfortunately, I don't think Skinner does. I like Skinner a lot, but he's a developmental guy for the practice squad if he's able to clear waivers.
Wide receivers for the Jets. Garrett Wilson, lock.
Yep.
Josh Reynolds, lock.
Mm-hmm.
Arian Smith, lock.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Lazard, lock. Tyler Johnson, lock.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's Pritchard versus Gibson if I'm missing anything, right? No Corley, no Skinner. Herb Charles is not a factor. He's hurt.
Correct. He's going to start on PUP. So he's going to miss the first 4 games at least. And he injured his ACL in December. So, like, he may be out even longer than we think. But, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not sure on that one. But, yeah, I believe it's going to be 6 receivers. And that 6, I believe, is Jamal Pritchett. There's been people that have been saying 7. I'm like, I don't think so. Especially with how this team is constructed. They're more likely to keep extra running back fullbacks than a receiver, I would imagine, with how they're going to construct this thing.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Reminder, if you get the membership, you're entered in our raffle at the end of the stream to win a signed Broadway Joe Namath photo. If you can't get the membership because YouTube, for whatever reason, won't let you do it on an iPhone, you can do it from a super chat. $10 will get you 2 raffle entries. We got a super chat here from NY in Atlanta who says, great new intro. Hey, shout out to Gator for the new intro. Hit the like button. Can't wait for Tampa. NY, I will see you in Tampa week 3. Can't wait. Robin Boy Wonders with a super chat. The choice between those quarterbacks is akin to choosing poisons. Yeah, look, most backups, third string guys are. It kind of is what it is. That's why I like DeVito, because at least he's shown you he can win games in the league. Like, he was not completely incompetent when he played.
One of those 3 wins, he was on Monday Night Football, Giants-Packers. He had a comeback victory against Jordan Love and the Packers. They had their starters out there, and Tommy DeVito won that game with a last-second touchdown on the left half. So, yeah, man, he's got some chutzpah.
NY in Atlanta. Not only did he send in an Asmaniac super chat, he gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. George writes in, real question. We know Fields is more comfortable with passing to tight ends. Are we better off getting a wide receiver 2 or a starting tight end? I think it's a wide receiver 2 because I think they have a starting tight end in Mason Taylor. I think if you're talking about the tight end spot, Jeremy Ruckert, is he definitely on this team, or could they find someone on waivers over the next 24 hours that could be a true blocking tight end that's better than Jeremy Ruckert currently is?
Yeah, I would take any tight end that can either block better than Jeremy Ruckert or catch or both. So Jake, 1,100 players are getting cut/waived in the next 24 hours. There's got to be someone that is better in one or both of those areas than Jeremy Ruckert. So I'm hoping for that at the waiver claim. I'm hoping for some activity at tight end. But to the question, again, the Jets are putting their eggs in the Mason Taylor basket. That does not mean he's going to be Gronk immediately, but they're all in on that. But the wide receiver 2 thing, there isn't a Mason Taylor at wide receiver 2 unless you feel very souped up about Arian Smith, who, again, Nick Faria and the Deshaun Jackson stuff. If that's what we're getting, then okay, then what are we talking about here? But that's where I'd like to go.
Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. We mentioned CJ Mosley's comments. We were going to play them, and then we had some breaking Jets transaction news to get to. We played your Rodgers talking about the Jets. Here's CJ Mosley being asked what he thinks the Jets' game plan should be when facing Aaron Rodgers in week 1.
What would the game plan be? What would the game plan be against Aaron week 1?
Keep him off his feet. If his feet are set, or obviously if you know what you're running, it's going to be a long day. If you're getting that rhythm, it's going to be a long day. So for the defense, for the Jets, is making sure they're showing great coverage, making sure they're not, giving away linebackers moving too early because he's going to know everything. And D-line just got to get to work, keep him off his feet, and make him throw those passes overhead so they can pick them off, or check downs and, get some tips and overthrows. Got to get those.
Would you bring pressure to try to get him moving?
Yeah, definitely get him up the middle. I mean, if the D-line can get the pressure without taking away linebackers and safeties, I mean, that'd be, a beautiful day. But yeah, it's definitely mixing it up because, like I said, he's seen it all. Year 20 plus years, so he's seen everything. So it's really just going to be the defense staying connected, getting off the field, and most importantly, stopping the run.
Look, I think CJ nails it. They need to get a ton of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. There's no other way around it. It's his first game in a new offense with new players he's never played with, a new coaching staff. Challenge him. Sauce Gardner, your matchup, take DK Metcalf, their one true elite weapon, out of the game and get pressure on Rodgers. They need a big Quinnen game because if you get pressure up the middle, we saw Quinnen dominate the Packers a few years ago, and that led to the Jets beating Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay in 2022. Need a big Quinnen game. Need whatever we could get from Jermaine at this stage of his Achilles recovery. McDonald's got to ball out. Prove you're the best player from the Aaron Rodgers trade in this week 1 game. I think the Jets have to blitz. I want to see Sherwood and Quincy blitz, use their speed. That, to me, is the path. Aggressiveness and make Rodgers really have to beat you when his receivers and him are probably not on the same page because it's all new and he didn't play in the preseason.
Well, first off, captain, my captain, CJ Mosley, baby, the legend. And former guest on the Jake Asman show, of course. So salute to CJ, and I hope he's healthy and feeling better with everything. Because apparently he tried to make a comeback with the Ravens, but the neck thing. So that's horrific. So hopefully CJ's feeling better. It's great to see him on TV. He has his new sports agency business. But I think he's right. And I would say the other matchup you didn't highlight, Jake, because you can't highlight them all, is that Broderick Jones is a friggin' traffic cone at offensive tackle. He's a pair of saloon doors. How about Will McDonald, the guy that we apparently was our backup plan to Broderick Jones? How about beating his ass all over the place and getting a race to Aaron Rodgers? So I think the pass rush on the perimeter at the tackle part is going to be important. To your point, when Quinnen Williams was disrupting stuff in that Jets-Packers game, Aaron naturally wants to step up, but he couldn't step up. He had to all of a sudden start panicking and going left, right, and that pocket penetration from Quinnen Williams. So I think that's going to be key. And obviously, pounding the freaking rock against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, who, it's sort of like those trash bag commercials, hefty, 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 whippy, whippy, whippy. On the surface, they're hefty, hefty with TJ Watt and some of these big names, but some of the numbers last year don't look nearly as good as the Pro Bowl names that we see on the roster here. So I think there are some opportunities that this Jets team can take advantage of, but obviously we're going to get a rust Aaron Rodgers. He didn't play at all in the preseason. He missed most of the spring. If you could pick a perfect time to play Aaron Rodgers, it'd be week 1. So I love that we're getting Aaron Rodgers right off the bat. I think it's a great opportunity for the Jets to get after him.
Smooth T says, Jake, I'll see you in Tampa. Paul, I'll see you week 5 LFC. Let's go. To any Asmaniacs or any of Paul's listeners who are going to Tampa, we do still have discounted hotel rooms available if you want to stay in our room block that I have arranged for anyone making the trip. We also have our tailgate party. Scan the QR code or go to tailgate.jetsfans-fan.com, and you can purchase your tailgate ticket. And then the night before, me and the Tampa Jet Fan Club have organized a happy hour party at Gaspar's Patio Bar and Grill. It's going to be a lot of fun. Starts around 4-ish. Stay as long as you want. It's going to be an absolute blast. But the link for the hotel rooms that are discounted I secured are in the description for the video at Hotel Tampa Riverwalk. So get ready, baby. It's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. And at the bare minimum, BG, I really need the Jets to be 1-1 going into that game. 0-2 with what will feel like the season already on the line in week 3. I don't know if I can handle.
Well, again, you look at that first 2 weeks specifically in reference to your Tampa Bay comment, which is week 3. Is that week 1, you got the Steelers. I think that's an eminently winnable game. Week 2 is difficult. Buffalo is the cream of the crop, but that game's at home. So let's see what happens. Let's test our mettle here. So the hardest part of the Jet schedule is that first chunk. That obviously you've got week 1 Steelers, you have week 2 Buffalo, week 3 Tampa, week 4. The week 3 and 4 games are both on the road. Jets taking over Florida with Tampa and Miami on the Monday Night Football game. The week 5 Cowboys game, which we're going to be tailgating at. So that's the stretch right there. In that week 6, you have the London game with the Denver Broncos. But that stretch right there, and then the rest of it is easy. So or easier. So survive that front half, and then you have a conversation for making some noise. So I think a 1-1 is more than possible for the Jets heading into that Tampa game.
Deontay Johnson just got released, so another receiver, veteran receiver, is available. You know, the Browns cut him. Not much out there, Jet fans. So those who want to improve the wide receiver room, he's at least a name that I saw just got released. We're covering everything in real time here this morning on the show. I'm going to be live hosting the Michael K Show today from 1 to 3. My plan is to go live around 4:30 or so. Robbie Sabo will be my guest, offering our initial reactions to the state of the New York Jets' initial 53-man roster. So stick around for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Bo C in the house. We haven't had a Bo C membership explosion in a little bit, but he joins in on the fun. He has gifted 10 channel memberships. Bo knows.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Oh, yeah, here we go. 10 names. I'll read them off because I have it in front of me. Billy M., Ethan Baracco, Mike Kopp, Randy Martinez, Vinny C., Utah for life, Jared Mount. Who else we have here? No way, that was 10. Come on, Mr. Tube. Tell me the names. Bradley and Rafael Ramos. If you tuned in late, we are playing for a big-time daily prize. Only the second time ever that we've given away a signed Joe Namath item in show. So that is the top prize on this show. If you don't win, our prize is in next week's Asmaniac raffle. Raffle number 38 since December 1st. Signed jersey by each member of the Sack Exchange and a signed jersey by QB1, Justin Fields. Smash the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Roster Dread is in the Asmaniac raffle for a 1. Appreciate your roster. And how about Julian Manfredo? A 10 spot on the Boy Green channel.
Let's go, baby. All right, here are the 10 new members on the Boy Green channel here. Skip Donahue, Derek the Cop, DT, Dylan Terriman. Hey, now, there you go. Jet Life 89, Mo Wilkes, NYJ Don't Tell, Christopher Phillips, This is Los, Luis Ron, and Illuminati Bot. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby.
How about that? Coffee Club members, Asmaniacs, coming together on the show. Let's get to some calls if you want in on the conversation. Now is certainly the time. Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is open. We're standing by is a man with many names. What will he call himself today? Beast? Uh-oh, is he sleeping? You don't see him in the picture. Beast? Beast?
Give me a second, please. I'll get with you in a minute.
What do you mean? I'm on the air. I'm trying to do a show.
Let's get something to eat real fast.
Shocking.
And,
hey, turn the light on.
And we got a brand new hat. I even got myself one of these yesterday. One of these bad boys right here.
I can't see. It's too dark.
Ah. Don't you see?
A Met hat. I don't like the Mets. I'm a Yankee fan.
Well, I got this for $5.
Nice. Good deal.
Hey, you know how much they are online?
No.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bucks. I wanted the one where it was blue, or not that one, the black with the blue. The cuts I've seen, they're not that bad, but we need to stop complaining and stop bitching and spend the money. We got the money. Aaron knows what he's going to do. He's going to go out into the market, look at the QBs, look at the running backs, see what the wide receiver has to offer, and we'll offer them, like I said before, one of these. Fill out the amount, we'll put it in. That's all. Fill out the check, put it in, and we'll take care of you.
Is there lice in that hat? People are saying there's lice.
No, this is brand new. What are you talking about, lice? We blind? And plus, in about 25, 30 minutes, I'm going to be heading up to Dollar Tree to pick up a few things. So
what are you picking up?
Don't worry about it. It's going to be under my supervision. But we're going to be just fine. We're going to need running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, some defense, but we don't need no kickers, no quarterbacks.
Hey, show us the ponytail. Do you put it through the back of the hat, or what is the setup for that thing?
Come on, you see, come on.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Wow,
just like Paul Heyman would do. Come on.
Hey, Gator says the Mets hat makes you look fat.
He's just being a whiny baby with his head between his legs, looking for his arse.
Big fella says that hat is small.
No, not necessarily. This is actually a.
JD says you look like a softball player.
Do I care about that right now?
Hey, Beast, give us a softball tutorial. Throw us a pitch.
Running backs, wide receivers,
give us the twirl.
And we're also going to need a little extra defense because that's why we're going to keep our players fresh. But if you want to win games, stop bitching. Stop.
Michael says your breakfast is all over your shirt.
Learn to accept pain because we're going to.
Nate says you're the only person in a Mets hat he would avoid in public.
My ass. You know what? Addison, Rick Kent, and many other guys like me, we're all Met fans. So, hey, calm down, relax, have a chill pill, or have a bagel or something. Worry about what you need to worry about. Be yourself. It's not like we're going out into the public with underwear on, looking like weirdos. Be yourselves.
That's what you do.
I'm a man's man. Hey, Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated, they already know who the stars are. So you already know.
Time Magazine named you a Man of the Year, correct?
I'm hoping to be soon to be. I wouldn't mind taking a 4. Because, hey, I wouldn't mind adding that to that roster because my belts are way far past real. But enough about that. Let's worry about winning games. Number 1, Pittsburgh will get smoked 28-3. Buffalo, we're gonna kick their ass 28-24 in a dogfight. When we go to Tampa.
Have you seen the cover of Time this week, Beast?
First of all, you can take that picture down because that's horse shit. Tampa, when we go to Tampa, we're gonna kick their ass 35-3. When we go to Miami, you can expect a 42-0 blowout. That's gonna be a first ever 4-0 defeat. And we're gonna stay positive, we're gonna stay fresh, we're gonna stay cool, calm, cool, collected.
Well said, Beast. Boy Green, your thoughts?
Wow. A lot to unpack there. But it's great to see the time of the year cover. His latest bid is going well. Like the man bun back there. There you go. Very nice with the ponytail. Mets. Okay. I'm not a Mets guy, but hey, to each their own. If he bought it for that price, I would imagine it was, I know he says it's brand new. I would imagine it's previously used. So that may be an issue there, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a great comment here.
Boy Green feels like he's watching a horrific car crash where no one gets hurt. Michael says Boy Green's face says it all.
It's, a car crash, you have to look, right? So we're all compelled.
Gator says, imagine that exact same call from Beast with a guy like Rich Samini as a guest.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine. Has that ever happened?
No, I have not taken calls with Rich.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. Probably. You got to be a certain type of guest on this show to experience a Beast call.
I'm glad that I'm a part of it, that I'm part of that elite fraternity.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Bo. He's using his free Asmaniac super chat. Thanks, Bo. The final 53 is going to be the final piece of the puzzle. Trust the process. AG knows what he needs to make this thing work. 4 sacks in the first half. If the Jets have 4 sacks in the first half, they better lead by double digits at halftime. Otherwise, we're setting ourselves up for an all-time Jet collapse. That's my initial thought. That's how tortured I am as a fan.
Which makes sense because sometimes we've seen statistics look really good for the Jets and then the score doesn't reflect the advantages the Jets may have. And you just have this pit in your stomach like, oh boy, what could be happening here? And I just want to reiterate, not that you're saying this, Bo, but Jake said it when he's going to have Robbie Sabo on later today. It's the initial 53. This initial 53 and the final 53 are not necessarily going to be the same thing. So we're going to have an initial 53 tonight at like 5:00. But it's going to be coming around the other side where we have waivers tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live right now, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're presented today by my friends at Beats Custom Apparel, season right around the corner. So if you want fresh kicks like the ones I have, my Jordan 1s in Asmaniac and Jake Asman Show custom-made kicks,
wow,
you could get them by going to beatscustoms.com. The link is in the description for the show you're watching live right now. So check it out. Kyle is the founder of the company. He hand makes all of the kicks that you have seen me show off on the show. There's a code as well for you to get 10% off any of your items you purchase. Jets 1, that's the number 1, is the code. All the info, again, is in the description. But you talk about sick shoes, ladies and gentlemen. These are sick. Shout out to everyone who I've met in person while wearing these that has said nice words. I direct them to Beats Custom Apparel, beatscustoms.com. Check it out. It's linked in the description. Bunch of Asmaniacs have bought shoes, so that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing what Kyle does for our awesome listeners. BG, you got to get yourself a pair of custom kicks.
I was just saying that in my own head as you're doing it. I'm like, holy shit, I need to get a pair of those. So nice. I got to work on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, open phone lines for those of you who want in. I have pinned the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline, so that is how you join the show, by clicking that link. Up next on our show this morning is a guy who I know will have some great takes. But the only question is, where is he calling from? Inside or outside?
I hesitate to follow such an accomplished caller, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Are you two not a 3-time man of the year?
I'm not.
Maybe one day.
I'm a multi-time Azzy nominee. That's the best I can do.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. So, to possibly win a name assigned item, I mean, really something special, you know. So this is a show. Jake, I would expect a lot of super chat activity and memberships flying in today. This was a charismatic quarterback that we had, Joe Namath. He was a one of one, really. The clip that you played earlier from Rodgers showed a marked lack of charisma, very monotone, like the tone of someone who admittedly knows he might be a little bit past his prime. The rumor is that the Steelers wanted Justin Fields more than Rodgers. Like, they didn't really want to go down this road. This is kind of like, a desperation throw to go to Rodgers. So, I don't wish him any ill will. I think he gave the best he could when he was here. It ended, unfortunately. I don't know if that's more on him or if it's more on Glenn. Doesn't really matter at this point. But I don't think we were ever going to go forward with him. I think some of these cuts are pretty interesting. Brandon Smith has done enough to make this team. It's a shame. Empirically, it's a shame. JBC has pretty much played pretty well in the preseason. I'll be surprised if he isn't snapped up off the waiver wire. So I think we're correct in assuming that Pritchett's going to make the team. He's to me a clear upgrade over Gibson. And then some of the, we're just waiting to find out about, Jeremy Ruckett's fate. And some of these other guys that, we're kind of questioning, what worth they have at this point because they've been here for multiple years. I guess that the Watts cut might mean good things for, maybe Page or some other guys around the defensive line who might have impressed. But I'll be anxious to see. This is an exciting day. It's an exciting day to see who we're going to go to war with. And I'm looking forward very much to opening day and putting it on the Steelers.
They better, Kyle. If they don't, I dread that first post-game show after losing to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, we can't have it. I really think that we have this idea of Aaron Rodgers in our head. And really, that guy hasn't been around for about 5 years now. His injury.
Yeah, but his last game with the Jets, he was running around. He threw 4 touchdowns.
Well, you're always going to see glimpses of it, right? Like
I just don't want to see it week 1. That's my fear. The only thing that could be more SOJ than him getting hurt 4 plays in 2 years ago is him now coming back to the Jets and Aaron Glenn's first game after everything that happened and playing great and beating the Jets.
No, I get what you're coming from. But like, we can't assume that's still there because we haven't seen it in so long. We didn't see it for 2 years in Green Bay. We didn't see it and partially due to the injury for 2 years here. And
for one game, though, he could do it. We've seen that. He had the great game against the Patriots last year. He had the game against the Dolphins twice. That was really good. The Jaguar game, like he could play well for one game.
But the interesting part to me is that reports out of Steelers camp have not been glowing. So we'll see.
And we didn't see that in San Francisco, right? I don't have the box score in front of me, but his week 1 game of 2024, I don't remember him being dominant or anything. So
no, he was all right.
So,
and we don't know how much that goes to the scheme that he was clinging to. That's still his own fault. But like this, like I'm very anxious to see how he's going to coexist with Arthur Smith. It's fascinating, but it's a great show. It's good to talk to you guys, and I will talk to you soon.
Kyle, always appreciate your time. That's my big fear. I'm hoping now. Could I see a scenario where like it's just an ugly game and like it's really not about Aaron Rodgers playing great, but the Steelers could still win? For sure. That's kind of what happened in London last year, where Sam Darnold didn't beat the Jets, right? He didn't play that great. Minnesota kind of just held on, and the Jets made a ton of mistakes. Rodgers was awful for most of that game. Like that's what happened there.
That's true. Yeah. So to me, again, I'm not with everything that we've seen thus far. This is why I say playing Aaron Rodgers week 1. To your point, we go. I think we were both at that game, Jake. I don't know if we ran into each other, but the week 3 Jets Patriots home game, like that's to me the best Aaron Rodgers looked all year, moving around. He just seemed to be on point. He seemed to be in his zone. There was a couple weeks into the season, shake off any of the hoopla that was going on because we had the San Francisco, Tennessee, then Patriot game. He just seemed to be in the zone. Playing him week 1 to me, I think is a massive difference because I think eventually we'll see those flashes as Kyle was talking about at some point during the season, but it feels less likely in week 1. Obviously, he's going to be ultra motivated because he wants to give it to the Jets, but man, not playing in any of that action, I think we're going to get a rusty version of Aaron Rodgers, and hopefully that's good news for us.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. The Packers have just released Isaiah Simmons. So I don't know if Glenn has a use for hybrid linebacker utility guy, but he's out there. He's another notable name. We're reacting to everything in real time. The Jets have already made a couple cuts today. Brandon Smith being one of them. A lot of people wanted him on the 53. Not going to happen. Maybe he's on the practice squad when it's all said and done. Devin with a super chat here. Aaron's washed. JJ and Will 5 sacks combined. Stop fearing Rodgers. He's washed. Hope his ribs heal up for the rest of the season after we break them.
Jesus Christ.
Love the confidence. Hope you're right.
Baby. Yeah.
Love the confidence. Let's see. Ryan with a question. When does the GoFundMe for Lane's family end? Good question. I'm in talks with Lane's mom about that. We set a goal of 10,000, and I think we're at like 3,500. Thank you to Samuel Purton, Jets Forever 2, who gave a massive donation last night. We're at 3,600 now. So big thanks to everyone who's contributed. We're up to 66 donations in the Lane Train GoFundMe. For those who missed the news, Lane's father suffered a heart attack and passed away. So we're trying to raise some money for Lane's family during this difficult time. So if you want to support, scan that QR code or click the link in the description. And again, thanks to all the Asmaniacs who have contributed. With that
real
said,
quick, I just
Paul.
wanted to say real quick. First off, obviously, our love is sent out to the Lane Train family. But I wanted to say specifically to you, Jake. Shout out to you for being the face of being able to like organize this and get all the Asmaniacs and hopefully fellow Jet fans that are familiar with Lane Train, because we're a good community. When shit goes down, we're always here for each other. It doesn't completely fill the void, but it helps during these troubling times. And I've been very proud of the Jets community over the years that they've stepped up when stepping up was needed.
The best fans in sports. Maybe one day our loyalty will be rewarded.
Right. We'll see.
Gator says, call in or Beast will take his shirt off and show you his muscles. Gator's not wrong. Right now, the only guy that is currently on hold is this guy. Beast? Beast? Uh-oh. Beast? Beast breaker. I hear faint sounds in the background.
It's murmuring. Yeah.
He's coming.
Woo! Had to drop the bomb.
What does that mean? You took a dump?
Hey, you know the old saying, in the words of Mr. Jones, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Do you have any of your own sayings, or can you only quote other people?
I take my cue from Mr. Jones from Friday. Just remember that. Now.
How was your dump?
Feel 5 pounds, like.
Painful?
Yeah. It was. Now, this. Jets Grill will be launching on September 7th. We're going to be cooking the very first Sicilian. That's enough.
All right, Beast. We'll see you later.
Nobody gives a shit.
All right. On that note, let's get back to your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on the Gusbuster Hotline is...
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State. I really love Florida State. Hey, easy tongues, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State. I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Ricky.
What's up, brother?
Well, you know what? I dug out an old favorite today just for this occasion.
Like Evan White, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that shirt somewhere.
I just, as I was moving some stuff around today, I just happened to come across it. And I was like, you know what?
What an era. Yeah.
That's
great.
You know, we always have the tendency to root for the underdog. So, yeah, I had to break out the old Mike White for today.
Love that.
I am really surprised that they waived Brandon Smith. I really thought that he had done enough to possibly get a shot. You know, I guess being that Lazard is healthy, you know, he'll be the big body guy that they have in there as opposed to Brandon Smith. But man, I don't know. Like, we're talking about wide receivers. Wide receiver, your number one job is to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Every time they talk about Alan Lazard, they're like, he's a good blocker. And I'm like, that's a compliment if you're an offensive lineman. I don't know if that's a compliment when you're a receiver.
That's true. Yeah, well.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you know, the Alan Lazard scars from the last couple of seasons haven't fully healed. But I don't know. At any rate, I am really excited about a lot of the young kids we've got. You know, and what time is it?
Game time.
Got, a little less than 6 hours left of Malachi Corley's New York Jet career. So
Jesus, all right.
What was your favorite memory when he dropped the ball against the Texans before scoring a touchdown, or when he changed his number 3 times, or when it came out last week that he asked for $120,000 from Devontae Adams after Devontae offered him $20K for the number 17.
Yeah, well, and more to that story, like I guess the team decided to go ahead and switch the numbers without that, and Devontae went ahead and paid him what he offered anyway.
He did 20,000. Yep.
But the more concerning thing with me with that was hearing that he refused to play special teams. He thought he should be a starting receiver right now, even though he hadn't really done anything to earn it. That's from all the comments that were made about his maturity. That's kind of what I envisioned as going on behind the scenes, kind of that rock star attitude. But dude, let me tell you what. You might have beat all up on people when you were at Western Kentucky. Elite competition that they play. But guess what? You're in the NFL now, dude. Like every other guy is a yak king. So go out there and show it on the field, which he really didn't. And starting this year injured wasn't a good look. And I don't know. I'm just ready to turn the page and move on from that whole experiment. Me personally.
No, I will tell you, though, that's the thing that bothered me the most. I think too many people are overlooking that he thought he was above special teams play. Went, I'm a starter receiver. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna be doing special teams. Like, what an arrogant prick. So that feeds into all the immaturity stuff. Because like after he did the stupid play where he fumbled the ball before going in the end zone, he showed no remorse. Like, who cares? I threw the ball. We won the game. Who cares? And now hearing all these other stories, all the pieces are starting to come together now. Like, I see. So this is what it was about the entire time. So to me, it's good to finally hear it. Connor Hughes sharing that on Jets Final Drive last week. Good riddance, pal. Good riddance.
Yeah, and I mean, as the season went along, everything from then until now, like I just got so tired of hearing people go, "Oh, the poor kid, he made one mistake and ended up in the doghouse." It wasn't just one mistake. There was a lot more going on there. Mm-hmm. And I said that all along, but if anything, it's nice to feel vindicated that I was right about a lot of that. It wasn't just one mistake; it was a number of things, a multifaceted problem, if you will. But hey, enough of the negative. On to the positive. We've got a good squad. I'm really, really stoked about the two guys we just added, in particular Harrison Phillips. Like the more that I've looked at tape of his and the more that I learn about him, he really does seem like a perfect AG guy. And I think he's going to be tremendous for us. All that worrying that people did that we didn't draft a defensive tackle. Well, we got a defensive tackle. Matter of fact, we got two of them, and they both got starting experience. So good things lie ahead. Can't wait. Just a little over a week, and we'll be able to smash Aaron Rodgers. 2 weeks later, I'll be seeing Jake and everybody down here in Tampa, and more importantly, 3 days from now, I get to watch my Seminoles smash Alabama for the first game of the year. So,
Florida State, baby. Ricky, NY.
You get the fuck out.
Ricky loves his Florida State players.
That's for sure.
Hopefully, AZ Thomas is good. We know Jermaine's good. We got AZ Thomas.
Sure.
Jordan Travis, his football career died.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook didn't work out. I'm trying to think of recent Seminoles the Jets have had.
Antonio Cromartie, baby. Huh?
Crow, yep.
Yeah, we had Crow. What else did we have? We're definitely missing people. Oh, Derek Nottie for 5 seconds. Derek Nottie. Yeah. Traded his.
Ricky got his jersey. That might be the worst purchase of all time.
Oh, sorry, pal.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you haven't. We're giving away an epic prize. I'm going to give some memberships myself coming up here. So if you want one, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You have the setting on that you want to receive a membership. End of the show. It's a Joe Namath item, people. Everyone should want this. It will look great anywhere. Signed photo by Broadway Joe. Includes certificate of authentication. If you don't win, we announced it yesterday, the latest weekly raffle winners. But how about next week's top prize? Signed Fields jersey, signed Sack Exchange jersey. That's right. Each member of the New York Sack Exchange signed this jersey that I send to you should you win. How about this from Rasta, who says, today's my birthday. Hopefully that will give me some luck. Happy birthday, Rasta Dread, one of the greats. He's coming to Tampa. He lives in the Miami area. He'll be at our Tampa meetup, so looking forward to that.
HBD?
T-Town Jet in the raffle. Good luck. Tyrone Garcia in the house. What's up, Tyrone? I hope the best for Aaron. I have a lot of respect for him, but he's now a memory. Let's see this year. Go Jets. That's it. Let's win week 1. It's 1 of 17, but from a Jet standpoint, it's a big one.
By the way, shout out to Ricky. He had a bunch of names. Come on. Lavernius Coles, Leon Washington, Marvin Shade Jones, LaMarcus Joyner. I don't know if I would have put him in the same group as the others, but Ricky, I respect that you slapped him in there too. But yeah, there you go. A lot of love.
Abu Dhabi Jet fan. Corley makes Denzel Mims look like Ring of Honor material. I mean, at least Denzel Mims got on the field and played. He showed something in 2020 in the COVID year. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think there were any touchdowns, but there was other stuff though. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, hope you're doing well. Good to meet you in London last year. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps breaking news that could, not definitely, but could, some are saying, relate to the New York Jets. This is from Jeremy Fowler. Let me pull it up on the screen here. With free agency picking up a bit this week, one name to watch is Zadarius Smith, who finished with 9 sacks last year. Multiple contending teams have checked in on Smith, who's training and waiting for the right situation. I don't know if Smith would look at the Jets as a contending team, but Aaron Glenn did coach him. So if he likes Glenn and the Jets were to be interested, I would sign him in a second. Jadeveon Clowney is still out there.
Oh, yeah, baby.
These are the moves I'd be looking at to try and add some depth to that defensive end room.
Jermaine, by all accounts and all the wonderful reporters you've had on the show, Jake, has looked awesome since coming back to practice. He's doing strip sacks, all kinds of crazy shit, and that's cool, but I just don't want to rush him back, and I feel like we're forced to rush him back by not having other guys in the room. So the Jets have no other choice but to lean on Jermaine. If you had a Zadarius Smith, if you had a Jadeveon Clowney, you'd be able to say, hey, Jermaine, we're going to keep backing that Ferrari off the pickup truck or whatever he said to really ease him back at our own pace. To not have another proven guy in the room makes it seem like we have to lean on him a little too much. So give me Zadarius Smith, give me Jadeveon Clowney, flip a coin. I would take absolutely either. Zadarius Smith has the higher pass rush floor, but I like Jadeveon Clowney's ability in run defense. So either one would be a massive upgrade for the Jets in their edge room.
Tyrone Garcia, I was wearing glasses. I meant let's win. We know what you meant, Tyrone. Don't worry. We are all hoping that the Jets do, in fact, win week 1. Boy Green, I know you got to run, so I appreciate your time, my friend, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at a game this year and plenty more appearances on both our shows throughout the season.
I can't wait, brother. That's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody. And Jake has you covered, no question. The freaking fill-in host on the gosh darn Michael K show. What in the name of everything that's holy? I'm glad you still have time for us, Jake.
Boy Green, you're the man. Appreciate you, my friend. Everyone go subscribe to Paul. Somehow he's live every day at 7:30 in the morning. I can't even imagine doing that every day on weekends and holidays. The guy doesn't miss a show, which is super impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you haven't. I'm going to gift some memberships now. Broadway Joe Namath signed photo is the prize. So if you want to win, you got to be in it to win it. We've had plenty of people win when they've only had one membership in the entire raffle. I'm going to gift one right now. Ladies and gentlemen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Membership by yours truly has been gifted. If you hear your name, you are a channel member. AR, you received a membership from yours truly. And wow, how about this? Rick Kent heard Joe Namath, and he's like, I want to win 20 spot of channel memberships. Hit it.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We haven't done this in a while, but it's time to put the helmet back on. Where's my helmet? We haven't had a 20 spot in some time around here. Here we go. Folks, if you're new to the show, this only comes out on special occasions. My Mekhi Becton themed helmet. It is so big, only a big fatty like Mekhi could rock it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining memberships. Oh, my goodness. Rick Kent, 20 names, 20 channel members. Hit the Rick Kent emoji. Dorian Schmurian, Adonis Helen, Mikey Boy Jets, Josh Frischman, Jeff Johnson, Aaron Daniels, Truman Daniels, CCAP, Daniel, Pete, Steve Fraun, David, McNally, Kevin Curvo, Benjamin Weinstein, Xavier Poe, Mark Moose, Brandon Frey, Alan has gonorrhea. What else do we have here? Tell me that's 20. I don't know. That didn't sound like 20. But either way, Rick Kent, thank you. Good luck, my friend. Rick saw Namath play. So he's in our Asmaniac raffle now, officially for 20. Okay. On that note, load up your calls for the remainder of the show. Got at least 20 more minutes or so. Then I got to head to the studio. As BG mentioned, I am in for Michael K this week on radio. So that means we're starting in the 9 a.m. hour. And that means you can hear me from 1 to 3 today on ESPN New York. E-Rock Polk with an Asmaniac super chat here. He writes in, who do you expect the Jets to pick up at receiver? I don't think we're making a trade unless they believe they have a shot at making the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to trade for any receiver right now. Could they claim someone? Sure, I don't know who that is. I don't think they're going to claim anyone. I don't really see the name there that makes sense at this point. If they're not going to trade for someone, which I kind of agree with. I'd be very interested, though, in what it would take to actually get Jacoby Myers. He's a good player. Perfect number 2. Let's see. Let's get back to your calls. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. Now, I'm taken aback by this next caller. Typically, when he calls in, we never could see his face, and he's on a bike around New York City. Today, he's not on his bike. We could see his face, and everything just feels different. Nate, parentheses Nate. Hello, Nate.
What up, Jake? How are you?
Nate, are you thrilled that it appears Quantez Stiggers has made the Jets?
I knew that was happening the whole time. It's not breaking news to me.
You believe in Stiggers.
Quanta told me this a while ago, so we all knew.
Yep.
That he's going to be the backup nickel soon enough. Yeah, it is kind of shocking JBC got released. That was one of the guys a lot of us had penciled on the 53. I don't know if that means Dom C said that means possibly Jarius Monroe makes it. I'm kind of curious to see who takes that secondary spot that JBC had. But yeah, they're really taking guys they want, I guess. So, but Stiggers is one of the guys they want. Trust me. As we go through cutdown day, what I'm looking at today is like if we played a game today, right? Tyrod's not healthy, so we don't really have a backup quarterback. And even Tyrod being our backup quarterback, Jake, are you even listening to me?
I'm listening to you. Yeah.
He always does this. So rude.
Sorry, man. I'm doing 7 hours of broadcasting today, and I'm trying to do multiple things at once. I'm listening to you talk about the backup quarterback. Go ahead.
Usually I'm on the bike, so I can't see you ignoring me. Anyway, like Tyrod always gets hurt, and unless Brady Cook is our Tom Brady, I don't know. BJF brought up Snoop Huntley, which I'm all about. If we're going to be like running around, and we need another quarterback to fill that void, but. Like as of right now, we don't have a second quarterback, and I don't know what you saw in Brady Cook, but he never went against the ones, you know. So I don't want him to be thrown against the fire, so to speak. So I'm looking for us to get a quarterback somewhere on the wire, and then to counter, like, or just to not counter, but just to calm down like the Ricky NYs, and I know we all fall in love with like these practice squad dudes who are like. I think Brandon Smith, Skinner, like none of these guys are good enough to even get claimed. I would think. I could be wrong, obviously, but I would think they're going to fall through waivers and kind of end up on the practice squad. But I'm okay with the kind of keeping the veterans. Like I know we all hate Lazard, right? But Lazard has caught touchdowns in NFL games. He has had big blocks. Like all the stuff Ricky was saying, like we want to mock him and stuff. Like he's still done it on an NFL field. Where all Pritchett has done is fumble in a preseason game and who's the other guy from Kansas? The Skinner, you know, made a great catch against 3s and 4s. But like, I don't want to see him lined up against a Sauce Gardner or a Patrick Surtain. Like, is he getting open? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Lazard is either. But at least one's done it on an NFL level. But again, it's like Jake West points a while ago. Like we're talking about wide receiver 6. If they end up on the field, we're in trouble anyway. You know, if QB3 and wide receiver 6 are out there, we're in for an Adam Gase like season. So I don't know.
Probably. I mean. Lazard has a role because he blocks, and they like his blocking in their run-first offense. That's really it. I mean, they value that more than anything.
Yeah, and hopefully Smith steps up. Like ideally, Alan Lazard is like wide receiver 5. Like if Reynolds and Tyler Johnson is kind of like they can fill some type of wide receiver 3 role, and then Smith is your deep threat. Hopefully Lazard doesn't have as big of a role as he's had like in the Aaron Rodgers years. And the other, I was listening to Sabo on his podcast last night, and I've been saying this in chat a little bit, but he made a really good point. Everybody, like I'm almost on the, and the last call, maybe not last call, but 2 calls ago on the bike, I was like ripping Clemens and other guys. Like I'm almost on the Clemens train now. Like we got a Clemens and Ruckert too, where I was like, Ruckert could get Tuck, could be other guys. Everyone treats them like they're Zach Kuntz. Zach Kuntz is the worst football player on our roster. Ruckert is not good, but I've heard people say like, oh, he's not going to play in the NFL again, or he might like he'll never find another team, or like if we waive Clemens, he would get picked up. He is a depth piece. He's not good and he's stupid and he doesn't know how to set an edge, but it's like, as Glenn says, he has that NFL body that someone would pick up to fill in on a Sunday when your 2 defensive ends are hurt and are injured, and that's what happens in the league. So I don't know. And then wide receivers, like we've heard wide receiver trade rumors, right, for like weeks now. I think they want to go after someone, but I think Muji wants to pay his price. Just like we saw with the defensive tackles. They kind of waited till the last minute and they're not playing a preseason game or we made the trade the night before. Like I remember in 2009, Mark Sanchez, when we went to the championship game, he was throwing to Chancey Stuckey, Jericho Cotchery, and Brad Smith that opening day. We ended up making the Braylon Edwards roster, but like this room is better than Chancey Stuckey, Jericho Cotchery, and Brad Smith, who ended up being a quarterback. But that's who Mark Sanchez was throwing to week 1 when we went to an AFC championship game.
He had Dustin Keller, though, who was like a really good tight end for a few years.
All right, and Mason Taylor is the light
skin. We hope.
He is. Trust me, he can snack.
And that team had a great O line. We think the Jets have a chance to have a very good O line. Like that's the comp. 2009 is offense.
Yeah. That's what I keep saying, baby. I'm all in. I'm waiting for that Aaron Glenn voicemail to be like,
that's right.
We're coming after Aaron
Rodgers
week 1. The boys will get fired up. Jake ignoring me again. Just kidding.
It's one of my favorite things I own as a Jet fan. The game ball that they sent to all the season ticket holders after they beat the Pats 16-9 in Rex's second ever game.
I thought you were going to play the recording of the voicemail. That would have been.
No, I don't have that handy. But how sick is this? The voicemail to the fans, and then the Jets stepped up and held Brady and Belichick to 9 points.
How do you have such a little football and such a big helmet? Is there any way to meet in the middle there?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't think so.
Yeah, you can fit about 7 of those footballs in that helmet. That is cool though. That's neat.
So let's hope week 1 is a lot like week 2 of 2009.
I'm all about that. Yeah, I'm absolutely. So I'm just saying I'm not as mad as all these no name guys. If we cut them, hopefully they end up on the practice squad. But I'm looking for a QB3 and also offensive line. I'm worried about that too. Like we all know what happens. I'm Joe Douglas all over again. If we don't have anyone that we know about, Max Mitchell, Chuma.
Myers is the best depth piece. Myers is the best depth piece they've had in years. I mean, the guy started a lot of games, could play guard or center.
True. Okay. Yeah. No, Myers is good. I don't know if he.
If there's an injury to a tackle. Well, if there's an injury to a tackle, I could see AVT kicking out. And they put Tippmann at guard and Myers at center. I think Myers would be the center because we've seen Simpson miss time this summer and Tippmann played guard and Myers moved over to center. So I think that'd be what they do. Look, if you have a bunch of injuries on your O-line, Nate, you're screwed. That's most teams, unless your quarterback is just so great.
No, but I was worried about just one. I'm worried about just one and then causing a gaping hole, which hopefully you've eased my concerns a little bit about that. But I'll be on the bike in about 5 or 10 minutes, so I can call in and we can go rip the streets up soon.
Go get us some subscribers.
You know it. I'll bring the flag with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate not on a bike, a rare sighting. Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Dylan says, I'm surprised the QB3 discourse is still going. Oh, it's never ending. It's also picking up today because you have DeVito and Mike White both being released. Gator says, can a new QB3 get up to speed before the bye week? Yeah, I mean, the Jet bye week is until what, week 9? Getting back to what Nate was saying, though, the reality is if you suffer a bunch of O-line injuries, you're in trouble unless your quarterback is like Mahomes or Burrow. These guys are just so good they could overcome it. So they need some injury luck, right? They need Olu to be healthy all year. They need AVT in a contract year to be awesome. Tippmann, Simpson, all that. Let's see. Gift memberships if you want in on the raffle for the signed Namath photo today. If you don't win, how about this for the weekly prize? Sack Exchange signed jersey, Fields signed jersey. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Couple calls left, then we'll spin the wheel. Let's say hello to not a Super Bowl roster who's next on the show. Hello, not a Super Bowl roster.
What's up, Jake? Hope the
Hello.
truck ain't too loud. I'm at work right now. To Nate's point, I don't think all the criticism against all our receivers that are just trying to make the roster spots too entirely fair. I live in Kansas. I'm a big Quentin Skinner fan. I don't know the need to go and jump and find this Super Bowl caliber receiver. Like, I don't know. We can try and improve the roster right now, but what's it going to cost us draft capital wise? I'm not really sure the criticism on the people that we have trying to make the team. And I'm not so sure that Arian Smith can't be wide receiver number 2 on this team, but I don't know. I might digress,
Are you driving a train?
No, trash truck.
Okay. It looks like a train. That's awesome.
Like a train, probably.
You might be the first caller that has ever called in while driving a trash truck, so you have that distinguished honor.
Nice. We'll take that. I loved most of Nate's other point. I don't know if we should be chasing a receiver right now or just try and save our draft capital up for something better in the future. I actually think Quentin Skinner has a pretty good legitimate chance to make the roster, and I kind of hope he does. And Arian Smith has shown nothing but positives in the preseason for me from a receiver who had nothing allegedly compared to drops in college. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the receiver core overall, and I'm just not sure we need to go chase a roster piece right now at this point in time. But, I guess it's yet to be determined, but we'll find out, hopefully.
We'll see. I don't know if there's a spot for Skinner, given some of the locks that you have at the receiver spot as is.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot to be desired. I'm actually a big Tyler Johnson fan, too. Hopefully one of those two can earn a spot. I did see we cut Brandon Smith, I think I seen when I read this morning.
Correct. Brandon Smith has already been released.
That is a bummer. Well, I got a lot of optimism for this receiver core, but I'm not sure if we should be hating on the wide receiver room whenever we're just expecting like a playoff berth if we're lucky. I got us pegged at 7 to 10. Obviously, I hope we do better, but it's undecided at now. But I see a lot more room for optimism rather than negativity, and I think that we're going to find out a lot whenever we face Pittsburgh week 1. Whenever Aaron Rodgers is sitting back like a statue and we're sacking the shit out of his ass. I'm sorry, no, this is a family show. My fault. No, I got to get back to driving. I just wanted to shout out to Beast and shout out to all the Asmaniacs. I love your page.
Have you called before?
Love coming in. Yes, a couple times. I usually lagged out at home. Derek, the Kansas Jets fan, is what I was logged in as before.
Well, Derek, great call. Appreciate you making it. Hopefully you call again soon, all right?
Thanks, Jake. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.
How about that? A call from the trash truck first. Love that. I love this. Devin, DNY for life. He wants a chance to win a signed Joe Namath photo in a matter of minutes.
Hello? You play to win the game.
D, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Couple calls left. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get up close and personal.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hi, Jake.
David T.
Hey, I got in on your show a little bit later, but this Pritchard guy, he's going to be on the roster.
It's not a given yet. If I had to guess, I think he's got a great chance to make it based on what Glenn was saying on Friday.
Okay, and I see that much of him, but what you guys taught, he's wide receiver, punt returner, right?
He's a wide receiver, punt returner, but his role would be on special teams. Like that'd be why he made the team.
Right. Okay. But so what my feeling about him is, you know, as far as the Jets, you know, quote unquote, changing culture and all that kind of stuff, he reminds me of a Bill Parcells type player. You know, not big in stature, but it seems like his heart is bigger than the football field. And you know, if he gets on the team and works his way in, you know, he will be classified as a Aaron Glenn type player. You know, culture change, and you know, so he's kind of for me maybe an underdog right now that I'm really rooting for. So it's a good feeling.
Well, let's hope they get it right. That's, I think, the biggest thing at this point, right?
Yeah. Would you and like I said, I got in on your show a little bit later. Would you rather somebody else on the squad beside him, or in your opinion?
Well, if it was up to me, I would have kept him and Brandon Smith and moved on from Lazard and Gibson. But I think at this point, Lazard's safe and he's not going on short-term IR. Glenn said he's going to be healthy for week 1 yesterday. So I think it really comes down to Jamal Pritchett versus Xavier Gibson for the last spot.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm rooting for Pritchard. Lazard, I mean, he's still an experienced veteran. You know, he still can block, and you know, all of that. I don't know. Maybe we still need him on the team. That I don't know. I mean, you gotta have faith in the coaching staff and the general manager and see what comes about.
Let us hope.
Yes, there's always hope, Jake, especially for the Jets. There's always hope.
Yes, the Jets have never let us down.
Well, I don't know if I believe you when you say that. So that's all. You know what? If you got time, as far as Aaron Rodgers goes, you know, I was one that wanted to keep him, and you know, I have a jersey and a nice hooded Jets Aaron Rodgers hooded sweatshirt, and you know, previous times I've gotten rid of a jersey, not to mention names, Zach Wilson, but you know. But I have my Aaron Rodgers stuff. You know, my plan is I think we're going to beat them the first game of the season, and you know, unless we meet them in the championship game, you know, with Aaron Rodgers down the road, I you know, I'll keep my Aaron Rodgers stuff. Maybe after he retires, I'll wear them out because I like he said, I know that I really feel that he put all his effort into wanting to win with the Jets.
David, great takes as usual. Keep up the great work, my friend.
Thank you, Jake. Don't work too hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I've got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen. It's fireball whiskey time. David motherfucking T.
Yeah. Shout out to you, David T. Jess, the latest Asmaniac to enter our Joe Namath signed photo. She's in for 5.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
If you received a gifted membership from Jess, thank her. The following people did: James Madden, John Reed, Edsel Daly, Aran Natan, all receiving memberships there from Jess, one of the great 4.5 percenters. Bino with a super chat. Would you rather sign DeVito, who we know what he is, or McCord? Someone actually asked this exact question earlier. I said DeVito. Well, he's won games in the league before. So I wasn't that impressed watching McCord against the Jets the other night. So I'd be good with DeVito or Mike White. Let's see. Devin says, let's see what we have before spending. I want Pritchard on this team. Jets. I want him on the team too. I don't think they're going to spend big, though, even if they don't have Pritchard on the team, right? Like, I don't think they're going to make a big splash move for a receiver. I'd be surprised. Couple shout-outs right now. A few people joined my Patreon. Jets Jesus signed up for the year. He earned 10 raffle tickets by doing so. Thank you, Jets Jesus. He goes by the name Rockness Monster, but on this show, he's Jet Jesus. Shout out to Jay, Ponce, Enrile, and Husky Gazelle. They signed up month to month. Just $6 for the Patreon. You get access to the Discord, 20% off all merch items. If you plan on buying any item from the merch store, I recommend you join the Patreon first, because whatever you buy, you're going to save the amount of money it would cost you to join the Patreon anyway. So you get a free month for free, basically. Let's see. We got time for maybe one call left, and then we will do the Asmaniac raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, some breaking Jets news.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
See ya, Malachi Corley. The Jets are releasing him. 3rd round pick a year ago. According to CBS Sports, he has been released. And no one is surprised. I've been on this for months. I didn't think he was going to make the team. And people said I was nuts. No way they'd cut a 3rd round pick. They didn't draft him. This regime didn't pick him. They didn't trade up for him. They didn't leak to the media. They had him as their 4th rated receiver on their board. That wasn't Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. That wasn't. And Malachi Corley did absolutely nothing all summer. He did nothing. He didn't make plays. You didn't even know he was out there. You didn't even hear his name called. It didn't work. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. Do I think Malachi Corley will get claimed by someone? It's possible. Another team had him high on their draft board and they want to take a chance on him. You know, could Kyle Shanahan bring him in? Salah's out there. They use Corley as like Walmart, Deebo Samuel. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think he could play. So we'll see. But we'll see you later, Malachi Corley. I was at the game where he should have scored the touchdown against the Texans and fumbled before he crossed the pylon or crossed the goal line. But this is a huge draft bust. There's no other way around it. I mean, the guy barely played as a rookie. When he did, he embarrassed himself. And the Jets didn't just get rid of Malachi Corley because, oh, they didn't pick him. If they had use for him, they would have played him. He obviously is not good, right? It's not like the Jets are cutting off their nose to spite their face here. If they thought Malachi Corley could help them, he'd be on the team. They couldn't find a role for him because he can't play. Now, 2 different staffs have said, we're good. But at least he got $20K from Devontae Adams to give him number 17 last year. But farewell to the Yak King. I just, is what it is. The Giants cut tight end Greg Dulcich. Led the NFL in preseason touchdowns. Maybe that's a guy to watch for the Jets. I don't know how he is as a blocker, though. Man. Been on this for a month. Where are all the people who said I was an idiot for suggesting Corley wouldn't be on the team? I got to check my receipts folder. Because I have those screenshots somewhere. Because I'm petty like that. Let's see. All right, last chance to get in here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to a fan favorite. A man who calls in. He could be happy. He could be sad. He could be yelling. He could have a special guest. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, PBM.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Yo, I'm actually not surprised about Corley, even though I wanted him before, but he didn't do anything, so it's good that he's gone. And I think now it solidifies that Pritchard is making the team since they cut Smith and Corley.
I mean, Corley was always getting cut, though, so I think it's Gibson versus Pritchard at this point.
I rather Pritchard than Gibson. And I think that Ruckert is going to be on the team until a tight end that can block gets cut. And then we pick that person up because we don't really have depth at tight end in general. So I don't think Ruckert's any good, but I think he's on the team until a tight end replacement is on waivers.
I think Rutgers on the team once again until they either find someone they think is better or maybe they just like him more than any of us can comprehend. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a shame none of these picks that the previous regime Jody made really didn't work. He had a lot of misses. A lot of misses.
Yeah. He had some hits too, but ultimately, anytime Joe Douglas drafted a skill position player outside of the first round, you have Breece Hall and then who? No one. Elijah Moore, bust. Denzel Mims, bust. Malachi Corley, bust. It's a huge problem.
Between his like free agents and draft picks, he hits like less than 50%. That's like really freaking bad.
He hit on some first round picks. He had a couple good waiver wire claims, but he met the biggest thing that did Douglas in quarterback and coach. He got those wrong. That's what happened.
And refusal when Rodgers got hurt to get another one. What a wasted season. That will never. I'll never forget. I'll never forgive that. That was the worst part of, other than the injury, was the fact that they stuck with Zach and just emptied and tanked the season.
Yeah, they could have made the playoffs if they signed Carson Wentz or did something else to the position.
Yep. But this is the last Sunday without football. Let's fucking go, baby.
No, there's football. There's college football.
I mean, NFL.
Yeah,
last Sunday without the NFL. So let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, PBM. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Uno Jet says, Jake, here you go. Uno. Job well done. You're in the raffle for 2. Bang Mateo. I was ahead of the curve on Rucker 2 years ago. Congrats, Bang. Congratulations. I'm sure you feel great. We're happy for you and your family. No, it means a lot for you. Well done. All right. Last chance for this. Sign, name, and photo. Oregon Jets says, hopefully we lose every single game and get a real quarterback. Yes, because that has worked so well for the Jets when they've been horrible and then picked a quarterback. You want to lose every game? You know how silly that is? How about try and win games and trade up for your quarterback if you love someone that you can't get? Like the best teams in the league, how did they get their quarterback? Had the Chiefs get Mahomes. Had the Ravens get Lamar. Had the Bills get Allen. Silly comment. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. You can't guarantee that even if the Jets had the first pick in the draft, they picked the right quarterback. How's Trevor Lawrence doing, by the way? Like, where would the Jets be with him? They'd be in mediocrity at best. You never know. Bryce Young, that's what the Texans wanted, by the way. They wanted Bryce Young. They tried to trade up for Bryce Young. They were going to, they ruined the tank by winning week 18 with Lovie Smith a few years ago. Stroud was their second option. How'd that work out? Like, it's all a crapshoot a lot of times. You don't know. But talking about tanking the year is ridiculous. Try and win games, man. The year hasn't started yet. There's talent on this team. All right. Spencer Green, who won a prize yesterday. Spencer, I sent it out after the show last night. I forget what you won. Did you win a Sauce jersey? I think it was that. Whatever you want, I sent out, though. Congrats. Send Oregon to the damn hole till December with that ignorance. Tough to argue with that one. Tough to argue with that one. All right, Spencer, I got you in the raffle here for 2. You're going to be our last entry. Beautiful. On that note, let's get ready to spin the wheel of champions, huh? Hold on. It's ready. Folks, someone's about to win a piece of Jets history. Signed, Broadway Joe Namath photo.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah, baby. You see the wheel. Good luck to everyone. Someone's going to win. If you don't win, that's okay. You're automatically entered to win this next week on the show. A signed Justin Fields jersey or a signed jersey by each member of the New York Sack Exchange. Shout out to Quill Ross, who says I became a Patreon member today. Quill, thank you for signing up, and I did see that, and you're in luck. As promised, I put you in the raffle for one for signing up for the month. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the Wheel of Champions, shall we? Good luck to everyone out there. Who will win? And quick reminder, if you win, please email me your name and address. On that note, shuffle the names one more time for everyone. Here we go. The winner is Anthony Logerato. Are you kidding me? I believe he's already won something signed by Don Maynard. And now he's got Joe Namath to bat. Oh, my goodness. He's won a signed Sack Exchange photo. Incredible. Shout out to you, Anthony. Well deserved. Hit the Jet chant for a diehard Jet fan. And I think Anthony has told the story before. He one time randomly bumped into Joe Namath on the street in Manhattan. So that's pretty sick. Congratulations, Anthony. You are the Broadway Joe Namath winner. Well done. Well done. All right. That's a great winner. We'll give away something on the second show later today with Sabo. That show is going to be around 4:35-ish. Got some big things planned as we will react to all the moves the Jets make. The roster's got to be set at 53 by 4 p.m. today. Anthony says, oh, my God, this is great. Thanks again, Jake. Anthony, congratulations. I have your address already, so don't worry about it. I'll get that sent out to you this week. On that note, that does it for me. Thank you to I was going to call him Paul Green. Thank you to Boy Green for being today's guest for the first hour of the show. If you're not a subscriber yet, you're missing out. Make sure you do so. If you're not a Patreon member yet, you're missing out. Get in the Discord. Season's here. The discourse in the Discord is the best. And on that note, I leave you guys with a clip that I feel needs to be played on a day like today. Jets, 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 Jets.
So, guys, it looks like Glenn, another defensive coordinator without head coaching experience.
Great.
Was that a fart?
Excuse me.
I can taste it on my tongue.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
For those of you who didn't know, a few months back, I had announced my retirement from the Jake Asman Show. But after today's victory, I have a huge announcement to make. The people, the fans have spoken. I'm coming out of retirement.
The great
I'm back. Big fella, I'll see you in the next round. May the best man win.
He's back!
Weed's more likable than you fucking old con.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck yourself. Well, first off, I'm not a trade you, asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole, too. So
Fuck you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
That's the end of that rumble. Jesus. Oh, my God.
25.
In the year of 25.
25.
Is he ever gonna stay alive?
25.
you get the fuck out. Excuse me.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the fuck out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.